Hey guys, Lord Sora here. We're back with another Season 6 Necromancer build I am very excited about. I think to some of you this comes with no surprise, but we are going to talk about my first love, and actually only love, Shadow Wave. If you have missed the news, I have actually been honored to join the Maxroll team alongside of Macro Boy, Chronix, and Sirach as a Necro Guide Writer. Been a great experience so far. So I will be publishing Necro build guides alongside of these amazing Necro players. And one of the first guides I have published for Season 6 is Shadow Wave Necromancer, aka Blood Wave or Shadow Surfer. So you're looking at the footage in the back that is sort of not relevant to how strong this build is going to be in Season 6, but it sort of does show the archetype and how the build plays and visually looks. I was able to play this build on PTR with a very suboptimal gear, like only legendaries, no ancestral, no master working type of suboptimal, and I was able to clear tier 80, and that was a good enough sign for me to say that this build was going to be super good. And then we did the math and everything, and so I really believe that Blood Wave is gonna be really one of the S tier builds for Necromancer. I do not have any updated gameplay yet, as I posting this before the season started, so I will be showing some sections of previous gameplays as well as my guide on Maxroll and some spreadsheet numbers, so that should be a bit interesting to look at. If you're new to my channel, you probably do not know this, but I have been playing this build every season and has always been my favorite playstyle, and the moment is here. Finally this build will also be one of the S tier builds for Necromancer in Season 6. However, there is one difference. We used to play this build as more like a damage over time darkness build. However, now it is going to be more overpower direct damage build. So it is no longer a damage over time build, but more so a direct damage build. Yet the aesthetics is the same, and the way sort of it plays remains the same as well. And we are going to be doing so much more damage, so that's a big plus in my opinion. We are still going to be doing the shadow, ultimate shadow aspect. However, our damage does not come from the desecrated ground at all. It comes from the wave itself, which is a shadow damage, but it's a direct damage instead of a damage over time. I also know a lot of people will be playing just the pure blood version of this build, and I think the majority actually thinks the pure blood version is better and more DPS than the shadow version. However, based on what I calculate and what I have experienced, shadow version will be still the way to go, and I will go into further details and explain why. When we put the ultimate shadow aspect, we actually start unlocking some really good multipliers that otherwise we do not have access to. And what are these multipliers? The first one is the Reaper's Sacrifice. That becomes a 32% multiplier. And you may say, well, that's less than some of the aspects that I can use instead of Ultimate Shadow, Great Feast, Untimely Death maybe. I don't think it would be good for this, but it's an idea. Obviously, Grasping Ways, you're already running that, and maybe potentially even other aspects you can find, whatever is out there. But this is where things get a bit interesting, because we are utilizing the new mythic, just the Shroud of False Dead, that gives us plus ranks to all passives, and we're actually putting Sacrificial on our amulet to boost all of these sacrifices. So when these combine, that 20% Reaper Shadow Sacrifice becomes 66% multiplier. And again, the Shroud of False Dead buffs Memento Mori, then as we put the Sacrificial on the amulet, gets even higher of a multiplier. All these considered, we can get this Shadow Sacrifice to a 66% multiplier. In fact, Sacrificial on Amulet actually becomes a whopping 91% multiplier. Here in the background, you're seeing my spreadsheet sort of breaking down this math. Not only the sacrifice bonus, but we are also getting access to the darkness passives, Terror and Gloom, which they also get +1 rank from Shroud of False Dead. How does this boost the Blood Wave's damage, the direct damage? When you put the Ultimate Shadow, the Blood Wave gets the Darkness skill tag, which then gets the benefit from these passives. All these combined, the Shadow version actually gets about 70% more damage multiplier than the pure Blood version, which again you can see it in the background from my Excel spreadsheet. This is sort of the behind the mat why I think the shadow version will be better than the pure blood, and maybe I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, if I'm missing something, let me down in the comment section below. On the other hand, the build, there are a few things we need to pay attention to, which we are reducing the wave cooldown to about 12 seconds so that it aligns with Ratma's Vigor timer. If you're not aware, each blood orb being picked up will reduce the timer of Ratma's by 2 seconds, and Ratma's Vigor has a 12-second timer. And as we accumulate more orbs, we should be able to pump out more waves almost every second, giving us a really high DPS ceiling. The things will ramp up. The more wave you launch, the more blood orbs will accumulate, and the more you will create this massive area of darkness and shadow and blood all combined. It's gonna be an amazing fun build, in my opinion, that I'm super excited if you cannot tell. But I'll be making more detailed build video on this with more gameplay as I push higher pits. But in the meantime, please do check out my build guide on maxroll.gg. Link is in description. I have really gave quite detailed information about everything that should set you just right. And again, I am kind of new to the guide writing. It has been great learning experience. Can't show my appreciation enough to Macro Bio Boy. Very thankful for the opportunity to do this at this bigger scale alongside of these amazing other players and guide writers and creators. So if you have any questions or feedback, criticism, please do let me know. I'll be posting a lot of Necromancer content continuously throughout the season, many seasons to come. But if you haven't already, I would appreciate if you hit that subscribe button as well. Lord Sora here, good to be back, very excited about the expansion, and I will see you guys in the future videos. Cheers.